afternoon guys and welcome to my channel The Nature Hobbies. Okay, so आज you can see हमारे साथ है चिन्मय aka Hold My Retractor.
What's up guys?
So today we have a rather interesting plan. We are setting our first home low-tech planted tank, and you know, as Chinmay is very good and very pro in aquascaping hobby. He, in fact,
try my best.
in fact, he's the one who actually inspired me for having a planted tank, because I was not actually, though I am not a very new person to the aquarium hobby, but I was relatively new in the planted tank setup. So Chinmay already has a very shallow concept planted tank, which works amazing, absolutely amazing. And today the special part is that today we are not going to use any aquarium soil for our tank. We are going to be using pure garden soil. Okay, and we are going to be using material which are naturally sourced, locally sourced, naturally available, and majority of material we are going to use that is freely available in nature. So you know, it's going to be a very, you know, budget friendly yet a very thoughtful conceptual tank. So stay tuned and keep watching. Okay, so these are a glimpse of material which we are using today. As you can see, this I've actually had the audacity to carry an entire gamla that is also an earthen pot. Okay, so earthen pot which has leftovers of garden soil which was available. This is 100% red, you can see, garden soil that we're going to be using. So we have not even purchased any aquascaping or aquarium soil for this XYZ setup. We're going to be using some local tools to pour in the sand soil. This I have purchased from a very local store. This is just a normal biological sponge which we're using. This is again an old recycled very old recycled sponge, okay, which I had left over from my old setup. Okay, this is again one more sponge that we'll be using and utilizing in our setup. This is locally sourced river sand. Okay, this is some locally available substrate that I have purchased. This is one of the items which I have purchased. This is again a little rough, you can see, rough river sand, which is not very expensive on the other hand. Maybe I would say 80 rupees kg. So I have got 1.5 kg, which cost me around 120 rupees. That's it. Yeah, what you will be requiring, which there are some things, some items that cannot be compromised. One of them is that you need good quality aquascaping glue, which is basically very important for your hardscape to hold on to each other. First thing first. Yeah, then these are some driftwoods that I have purchased, because whenever you're planning to have any tank or any, the design is something that matters in a tank, and for the design you need a very, you know, similar sort of hardscapes which depicts something in nature. So basically what you mean by aquascaping is that you are trying to capture or trying to gather that part of nature and piece of nature in one what you can say, one aquarium, one glass box. That's all what, you know, nature aquascaping is all about. So I have purchased this for less than 200 rupees. Okay, and this on the other hand is pretty interesting. I like to add elements from my native place where I belong to. Yes, I belong from the Konkan. Yes. So these are the laterite, red laterite rocks, which are readily available in Konkan. It is like the local naturally available rocks in Konkan. And this was also I was just wandering around in my farm, and farm mein ghumte ghumte I just found some of these rocks, so which I have gathered. So that was all the material. I'm going to be using this hang-on filter, which is also, I'm again reusing it because I had this in one of my old setups. And that's pretty much it. This is all the material which we are going to be using today for the hardscape. This is my boy Chinmay.
Yeah.
He is basically now adjusting the soil which we have put inside. It is again 100% garden soil. Okay, and this is a very again घर से locally sourced spatula, aquascaping spatula that we are using. So again, this is Chinmay boy setting some soil with hand as we are keeping the frontmost layer, which is a very, let's say, around 1 or 2 mm maybe, or 3 mm, and as we go on the back, the height of basically the base of soil is increasing. So you can see we have almost capped the entire garden soil with the sand. This capping is very necessary because the red soil is it can pretty easily mud your water. So if you don't want the mudding to be more, it is very necessary for the sand, because soil is basically it is dissolving, it dissolves in water. Sand on the other hand does not dissolve in water that much. Nothing very fancy, locally sourced material used here. Now this was what we were planning to actually. So I don't know if you guys have been to Phuket or Thailand, and many of you who have been must have visited Phi Islands or Maya Bay. So you can see how the orientation of rocks or cliffs is there in Thailand. Recently, last year I had gone to Krabi, and I have seen a lot of landscapes in the Krabi. So this rock we have tried to depict the same sort of cliffs, the angulation, the orientation of the cliffs, and this is the intermediate part of our hardscape, and let's see how it turns out. So as here you can see, pretty much our hardscape is complete. Obviously not without the driftwood, इसमें और driftwood आना बाकी है, but this is how it looks from the side view. Typical mountains of Krabi. This is the oblique view. We are trying to keep it more minimalistic. We want to keep it as natural as possible. We are spraying it with water now, just so that the sand and everything sets. This color of hardscape will also change slightly when it comes in contact with water. The soil, the sand has to nicely set. That's why the spraying part is very, very important. So guys, this is how our hardscape looks. Okay, when we have completed it, and we are eagerly awaiting for our plants so that we can plant the tank and see how it comes up. The oblique view. This is how it looks from the top, and this is how it looks from the side. Now what we're doing is we are watering our hardscape, दिस इज रादर अ वेरी क्रूशियल पार्ट, क्योंकि जो आपका सैंड एंड द सॉइल इज देयर, इट बिफोर adding proper water to the tank, it is very necessary that you water the hardscape so that the entire sand and soil soaks in that water and it sets. So इस सारे क्लिप्स का भी जल अभिषेक हो रहा है. Yes.